Ono-san, did you share the video, right?
Yeah. You said Abeno mask, right?
Yes, Abeno mask is like impar.
It's like a what? Impar. No. I'm talking about just 20 minutes ago. Masuda released the video.
Yeah, I know. Also, I saw.
Okay, yes.
Sharing video.
That's
on
right.
Facebook.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mr. Abe's, mask is terribly foolish.
Yeah.
Right?
Terribly what?
Foolish or stupid.
Oh.
Stupid.
Why?
Unbelievable. The naked king. He himself.
Abe's mask. His face mask, you mean?
Yeah, he himself
Right.
is. I recognize he's kind of. How can I express this? Tad? It's kind of
not sure what that
not
means.
normal. Third.
Retard?
Yeah, third. No, not normal. Normal person. Is my English wrong? Third.
Retard? Or
No, just third.
a turd? You
Yeah,
mean T-U-R-D?
yeah.
すごいね。
Third.
What do you mean third? T-U-R.
Third. Yeah, that's right. Exactly, third. Third means in Japanese, kuso.
Yes.
Kuso yaro.
Yeah.
The lowest grade, third.
Oh yeah. But I think
Somehow
also
I
third
didn't know this English word.
That's okay.
Not stupid, not foolish. Third.
Third, right? Third.
Unbelievable. Okay. How much money he going to spend? 40 billion Japanese yen.
Yeah.
Distribute the face mask for everybody in Japan. In Japan, 40 billion yen.
Yeah, many Japanese people.
400 million US dollars.
Yeah, it was just April 4.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. But they decided.
Yeah.
The global people.
Sorry, I didn't follow the news. He is
going to distribute.
Bought masks?
He is going to distribute
Yes.
120 million all Japanese people, giving them 2 masks for every household, and he's going to spend 400 million US dollars for mailing cost and production cost.
And when will these masks be available?
I don't know. Maybe 2 months, 3 months later. Maybe 4 months later. So I said he is third.
And his mask is like the one he's wearing. So
That's right. That's like kind of one. That one. Nobody uses it.
the one that doesn't work.
Maybe some the diet member have very strong connection to the face mask production manufacturer, like similar to Olympic expenditure, okay? And similar case, and somebody try to get money. I believe. It's stupid. It's stupid, crazy. I can believe it. That's I say third. Right?
I didn't hear that news. 400 million. Okay.
Yeah. So and my friend said maybe he's surrounding people something wrong advice for him. No kidding. He's not child. He can make judgment. Also, the government is something wrong recommendation for him. It's the same. He himself is terrible. I didn't know that.
And he's going to actually distribute it to every single household in Japan.
Yeah.
Everybody has masks, for sure.
But he tried to distribute masks for every household, 2 pieces.
Why?
Just simply saying third.
two pieces that last you 2 days.
Yeah. No. This mask is made by cloth.
Washable. No.
Yeah,
Close, washable.
Just get Japanese people don't have handkerchiefs. だから、
But I tell you, everybody wearing mask now.
うん。
But you cannot get it at shop. But everybody wearing mask, right?
Right.
I don't know how do they get the mask. I asked my wife, where did you get this? She said she bought at Amazon. Okay, so every family has mask. Outside,
sure.
everybody wearing mask. How come government do? How come government?
Probably Japanese government wants the medical staffs won't use just a surgical mask, so they doesn't want for normal people to use a surgical mask in household. Probably.
Yeah, surgical. My family and everybody, they do not wear surgical mask, normal mask, but they somehow get those masks from somewhere.
Yeah,
But how come government distribute mask for every household? Son of bitch,
I
you know?
think, I think it's just logic. Yeah, I know. This is just suck, but.
But how come ordinary people criticize him? Few people criticize him. All ordinary people should criticize him, not to do that. 400 million US, useless money. Right? And overseas people, everybody criticize Abe's decision. Abe's decision. It's crazy. Everybody says that, but except Japanese. But few Japanese saying he's crazy, but few.
Yeah, but many people say Abe is idiot on internet, I think, Twitter or SNS, but nobody media say.
Of course not. If you say that, then you will no longer be allowed to get into the press conferences, so you will no longer be able to do your job.
You're right. You're right. But it's seriously crazy. Seriously crazy. Like just I said, somebody said the same thing. Thought I saw it's very similar to Impal operation. Do you know Impal operation? Impal operation is the how many people? How many soldiers? I think 200,000 soldiers try to invade from Thailand to India. This is 2,000 meters high mountains. They get in those mountains. One third dead in the mountain because of no food, starvation. Instead of a battle against British soldiers, they couldn't reach to India. This is what's the name of Inoguchi? Lieutenant General ordered them to invade India. This was crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think that Japan has chosen many wars like that. Their invasion in Manchuria originally also was like they ended up in a port which was a open port, but I mean it was the enemy was waiting for them at the top of a very high mountain.
You mean the Manchurian Nomonhan? Are you talking of Nomonhan battle against Russia? Russia 1938?
Yeah, so it's I'm talking about
if so, this is right. Okay, also another crazy action is attack for Pearl Harbor. This is seriously crazy.
Yeah.
And except several operation, Japanese soldiers no. Japanese headquarters decision in some cases very serious, like Abe's decision. Likelihood. Similarity.
So it seems like really disastrous decision in terms of not to risk any human lives.
Yeah, I don't know how come they started to waging war against America. Any kind of reason, everybody, all Japanese people they didn't know they're supposed to be defeated. Because American power is more than 10 times. They didn't know that at that time. But how come they decided to start waging war? The current Abeno mask is a facing mask distribution is exactly the same. Everybody thinks this is crazy. But how come everybody agreed $400 million US ditch Japanese money into ditch? Everybody knows that this is nonsense. But that nobody against him. Like attacking Pearl Harbor, conducting impulse operation.
But I think this is okay. Let's take Pearl Harbor for an example. Basically, isn't it the problem of consensus-seeking behavior? I believe that the narrative at that time was that if Japan wouldn't, like after they had to open up the country, they had to catch up with Western powers, otherwise they would be colonialized or they would not be able to survive among the Western powers. So Japan needed to strengthen the economy and strengthen the military in order to become to remain independent. So what was necessary for them to grow the economy and therefore to sustain Japan was access to natural resources, because economic growth, there is a direct link between economic growth and the usage of natural resources. Now, the existence of the United States and the embargo that they put on Japan for natural resources after they started the war was a direct threat to access of natural resources, and therefore the indirect threat to the capacity of Japan to sustain itself. So it was a direct attack against Japan, and therefore they needed to basically strike first, otherwise they would lose. So for them at that time, the theory was that if they wouldn't attack the United States, they would lose the war. If they would attack, they may lose the war, but if they wouldn't do anything, they would definitely lose. So it was the most logical decision.
By the way, at that time, what Japanese people did wrong is they did get information. American people's intention for waging war against Japan. They didn't have no intention to start war against Japan before attacking Pearl Harbor. So it means if they don't attack Pearl Harbor, American government cannot start war against Japan. So kind of,
But they, in the eyes of the Japanese, what I understand is that they already did by creating that embargo, by not allowing them access to any raw materials, and Japan not being in the position of the raw materials, they were actually putting a direct threat to Japan.
Yeah.
They felt that they were already at war. So if they wouldn't do anything, they would lose in 2 years.
So they can go down south to occupy Indonesia, get oil. But even though they try to do that, America will not join the war. Because American government always they very careful about their people's opinion, and so it's kind of sort of I don't understand how come the Japanese like a military or Japanese government don't consider for the strategical decision.
So basically my observation is outside observation. This is really an outside observation. The way that this works, that basically if you want to get people to do something, you need to get consensus, right? So to get some idea across, you need to create consensus. Now this seems to be a very difficult process to actually attack Pearl Harbor and create consensus, because it's very tricky. However, the way that it works is that you actually get consensus not in a debate, but by having pre-meetings and creating consensus there. So what happens is I have an idea and I know that they will never get a majority for that idea. What I do is that I actually go into pre-meeting with somebody that I think will be very sympathetic. So basically we create consensus among us. Then the two of us go to the next person who is maybe also sympathetic. So we have already 3 people. Then we go to the next person who may not be so sympathetic, but we come with the 3 of us and actually have a pre-meeting with the 4th person. Then the 3 of us say, okay, we need to go left. And then the other person might think we need to go right. But because they're looking for consensus, they agree, okay, all right, it's 3 against 1. I'm not going to contend this. And so gradually, you can actually, if you follow the right route in Japan, and you do everything in pre-meetings, you can get completely screwed up outcomes that do not represent if you would just have an open meeting and discuss what was going on. That would normally happen in the West. So I think Japan is very tricky in the sense that they could actually end up in very screwed up decisions, basically because of the system they follow to actually create consensus before actually engaging with each other full out and discussing their opinion.
Based on sentiment, right? Based on sentiment, not strategy, right?
Well, the strategy is basically who are you going to meet with, in which order, and which alliances are you going to make, so that you can always make sure that you have a majority when you are pre-meeting with people. So if you're really skilled in setting up the right meetings at the right time with the right people, you can actually very much influence the outcome of a decision.
Emotional action, emotional movement.
Manipulation is another word that would come to mind.
Okay. So this is very similar to Abenomics. Abenomics is just, if you're going to consider the common sense, this is simple crazy. But they try to make negotiation one by one. Finally, their conclusion is, okay, we're going to distribute mask for every household. But this conclusion is crazy, right? So this process is, like you said, they persuade one by one. But how come, my question is, how come they're going to make final decision like distributing masks? The same as attacking Pearl Harbor. How come because Japanese
they already made the decision before actually debating it?
But how come they try to everybody like a government, parties accepted his decision? How come? Why not against him?
Well, I think that this is also just...
Okay, for example, obvious case is Impal operation. Everybody saw this is wrong decision. But finally, everybody accepted his, who's that? Name of that lieutenant? JLR. Accepted. Everybody did recognize that will not success.
Right.
And one person decision followed.
But it seems to repeat itself throughout history. Like these completely desperate, completely unrespectful to the cost of human life. Basically, based on like you say, the emotional aspect of honor, and we stop thinking and we think with our heart.
Oh no! His person characterizes do you know the Takeda Shingen? Battle against Uesugi Kenshin. Takeda Shingen soldiers very strong. But Uesugi Kenshin, okay, they had two local, regional people, soldiers battle. Two of them. Okay, at that time, Uesigi had gun, lot of gun prepared, thousands of guns. But the Takeda people, they under-evaluated Uesigi's gun. Okay, and they attacked with that gun, so everybody was killed. Okay, and head of Takeda, they under-evaluate guns power. He said, okay, this is soldiers' spirit. You should go. But finally everybody dead, okay? And Takeda defeated. This is in part is the same. Don't worry, you don't worry the mountain. Don't worry about starvation. You should go. This is a Mutaguchi order. Spiritual, spiritual, Japanese spirit is very exceptional. Okay, this is crazy. Do you know that why the Japanese military in between war between China, and they decided to go develop the all-out war in China? Why? Because at battle at Manchuria, Japanese soldiers win, 10,000 soldiers win against 50,000 Chinese soldiers. They won only 10,000.